much less Gunnison. And there's one in Gunnison, which is awesome. So thank you. And for those of you in the audience and those of you online, hello. Check out the Dobrado. It's sweet. I had the great privilege of opening up for Richie Furay earlier this summer, and he's from the band Buffalo Springfield. And I got to open for him, and I had this one song that just seemed like perfect for a dobro, but I don't own a dobro. Like a round neck dobro, I don't own one, and so I emailed Kent and I was like, "Hey, can I like borrow one for a gig? I'll give you a shout out." And he was so cool, man. I mean, like he could have just told me to bugger off, and but he didn't. He said, "Yeah, absolutely," and lent me one of his dobrados, which was insane. And I got to play it for that concert, and it was just such a neat thing. So thank you, a belated thank you. Well, I said thank you at the time, but. That would make me very rude if he gave me a guitar and I was like, whatever. Seriously. Golly, 3 months later. I changed my mind. Looks like you got me where you want me. So go ahead and roll up your way. Best things in life are hard to come by. Sometimes the best things come from accidents. When days are dark, darling, remember my love for you won't go away. I almost lost you last September. Oh, and my heart still's yet to forgive me. So is it just me? Am I seeing things? Does the way we breathe make perfect sense? Yes, I could start fires with what I feel for you. The sun could fade out, we'd see it through. You have a beauty like no other, and a confidence that gives me fear. If I compare myself too long, might just run away. But you have a grace that leads me here. So is it just me? Am I seeing things? Does the way we breathe make perfect sense? Yes, I could start fires with what I feel for you. The sun could fade out, we'd see it through. Yes, it's gonna burn. It's gonna burn. Yes, it's gonna burn. Is it just me? Am I seeing things? Does the way we breathe make perfect sense? Yes, I could start fires with what I feel for you. The sun could fade out, we'd see it through. Thank you so much. Thank you, I appreciate it. It's a song called Fires. So this next song, there's a bit of a story behind this song. I mean, not a story of like, I know somebody, because I don't. I gotta switch guitars, hold on. Again, with like the seeming professional. So, about last winter, there was this songwriting festival in Crested Butte, which was the first time it had been there in a long time. It used to be called Country in the Rockies, but they were cool enough to ask a few locals to be a part of it, and they asked me to be a part of it, and I was honored. The guy who wrote American Pie and Vincent, Don McLean, he, I guess in an interview, said that writing songs is like a terrible, painful chore. And I kind of feel the same way. Writing songs is very hard, it's very introspective, and there's a lot of times when you kind of second-guess yourself and wonder if that's any good. And so it was kind of weird that I was asked to be a part of this songwriting festival, seeing as how it doesn't come very naturally to me as a singer-songwriter. But they asked me to be the part of it. I was honored, so I did. And the day I was supposed to perform, that afternoon, I actually wrote this song. And so I told them, I was like, this is the freshest song, this is the freshest piece of meat you're going to get all weekend. Like, this is a songwriting festival, and I guarantee you will not hear a song that's 3 hours old. And I played it, and it went well enough that I thought to myself, like, I should keep playing that song. So this song really is not it's one that I kind of wrote in sort of just a mad dash in an afternoon, thinking to myself, I should have a new song as part of this songwriting festival. And there is a bit of an homage, so to speak. One of my favorite songwriters is a guy named James Taylor. Very under the radar kind of fella. Not many people know about him. And he wrote this song, I think it was back in the 80s, called The Frozen Man, which is about a guy who I'm not going to tell the story. He wrote a song called Frozen Man, and in the song Frozen Man, the character is named William James McPhee. And as an homage to James Taylor, the character in my song is named William James McPhee. It's an homage, it's not copying. My name is William James McPhee, born in 1923, to a father I never knew, and a mother who didn't give a damn about me. The dust swirls deep beneath my feet, the rain can come and wash me clean. Wash this dirt and this sin and grime from William James McPhee. Ooh. I killed a man when I was 12 years old, stole his car and took his coat. There's no mercy for a man like me, like William James McPhee. What you gonna do when the lawman comes? I'm gonna fight him off with my fists and my guns. What you gonna do when they done captured you? Don't ask me, boy, I haven't thought that through. By the first light of day and the rooster crow, I'll be on my way in the wind and snow. Don't look for me, 'cause I'll be gone. Don't cry for me, I'll be gone. I should tell you, the songwriting festival had a lot of like country singer-songwriters, including like a couple like outlaw country singer-songwriters, you know, that talk about like drinking a whole thing of whiskey and then like stealing a car. I don't write songs like that, and so this was a response to that. I was thinking to myself, like, I'm gonna be playing for people who want to hear about like we'll stick a boot in your ass, but I don't know how to write songs about sticking boots in people's asses. So this was the closest I came to it. If there's any of you who have sensitive ears, just be aware. I told my wife that I'm a businessman, on the road with my business plan. She don't know a single thing about me, about a William James McPhee. I drown my troubles in a whiskey glass. If you don't like it, you can kiss my ass. You're invited to talk with me, with William James McPhee. Ooh. But when I'm done and my time is through, I tell you, boy, one thing that's through: there'll be hell waiting up for me, for William James McPhee. What you gonna do when the lawman comes? I'm gonna fight him off with my fists and my guns. What you gonna do when they done captured you? Don't ask me, boy, I haven't thought that through. By the first light of day and the rooster crow, I'll be on my way in the wind and snow. Don't look for me, 'cause I'll be gone. Don't cry for me, 'cause I'll be gone. There you go. That is my poor approximation of like an outlaw country song. that pays homage to James Taylor, because outlaw country and James Taylor go together so well. You know, shower the people you love with love, and I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. Just totally natural. I love this thing. I feel like I'm playing at the Ryman. Right? Right? Like I feel like I should be doing like High Lonesome, like bluegrass, like yeah, or you know, Drew knows more about it than I do. This next song I did not write. This is not one that I wrote, but I love doing it. And this is by a guy who is a friend of mine and who ended up getting all famous. How dare he? I've had a few of those, not too many. I've had a few people who like I've known, people I've played with, who have gone off and gotten kind of famous, and some of them have gotten kind of famous, and then like one guy went off and got stupid famous. He has $20 million in watches now. Like who needs $20 million worth of watches? Like of things to wear on your wrist? That's just stupid. And when I was friends with him, he was dirt poor. Like he was as poor as I was at the time, and I was living on ramen. But I have a family and an awesome house in the trees, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. Not even $20 million of watches. This is not by that guy. Good story, right? This is a song called Industry. My debute's coming soon. You already know what I'm gonna do. You got my time on a dotted line. You show up in